chocolate brownie. He's back, baby. Special K coming back. Brutal knockout. Good to see him back in the game. Thoughts? Is it real?
Thing is, right, that we asked the question to the viewers, like, is this now Kell Brook a different Kell Brook? Will he go on and become a new champion, or is it done for him? And it was 50-50. Like, I was surprised with the verdict, really, because I thought it would be quite one-sided. I thought people were thinking he's washed, he's finished. And it was good to see that some of the faithfuls were still believing in Kell Brook. Now, from the fight itself, people were saying that the first few rounds were rusty. I don't really think it was rusty. Like, for me, he was patient. He knew he had to go, had a job on what he had to do, and DeLuca was like ex-marine and all this kind of stuff. And I think that was a perfect fight for Kell Brook. People sometimes want these fights where you just come in, knock the matey out in the first 2 rounds, and it's done. And suddenly you're celebrating, you're jumping around, and like all the headlines, oh yeah, he's knocked him out. I think it was the perfect test for Kell Brook to come in, someone tough. Took him 7 rounds, whatever, and he knocked matey out with a stiff left jab. If you think about it, like, the timing of that jab was unbelievable, and it was a great finish to the end of the fight. The thing is, like we said, the question now is he going to go on and do business?
He don't look. He's 33, I think. It's his age. He doesn't look 33.
34, I think.
Yeah, in physique wise and body wise, he doesn't look no different. But the thing is, it's clear, right? And you hear murmurs more and more now that this guy never used to live right outside of the ring. Yeah, and like, listen, I'm credit. As soon as someone gets in that ring and they do the job, listen, hats off, because it's hard to do that. And his performance, I agree with you. I think it's harsh to say, oh yeah, he was rusty. There's even boxers who fight regularly. There's always going to be a case of finding your way into the ring and whatever. But the way he took matey out there, the way he broke him down, it was some of Kell Brook's best counterpunching. The way that he would just wait. The way he just
leans
back, boom. The way he counterpunching is incredible. At times, it really is. Even when you see him fight, when he fought against Errol Spence, I watched him. Or even in that fight, he wasn't completely out of it. At no point did you think this guy is getting battered, right? So he's mixed it with the very, very best. But it's the motivation. What's the motivation now? Is he doing a Tony Bellew? Is he saying, right, Eddie, get me some big paydays, I'm out? Or is he really thinking, I need this unification? He hasn't got to prove anything to anybody anymore. But what he does need is those paydays. Obviously, that's why he's back in the sport, right? I think. So for me, he mentioned Mikey Garcia. What a fight that would be. What a fight that would be. Go and fight Mikey Garcia. There's talks of, everyone keeps throwing the names out there, these Canelos and Danny Garcias and all these guys, Crawfords and that. Leave them alone, Kel. Ezekiel, you don't need that. You don't need that smoke, cuz. Mikey Garcia, don't get me wrong, I'm not pissing on Mikey Garcia. He's also a fucking massive name. A great champion, but he's also gone through the weights. Do you know what I mean? He's gone through the weight classes. So that sort of opponent for me, yeah, that's the type of you don't want someone that's going to come with grenades in their hands that could damage your eye sockets again for the rest of your life. That's my personal opinion. I don't think he's doing this for something because he's got the fire back in his belly. I think he's thinking,
that's what he's saying.
Of course, he has to say that. Yeah. But what's your personal opinion? You think he's doing this because the passion of boxing's taken over him, or do you think I need to maximise this window?
The thing that I disagree with you on is that he's saying that he doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. I think he actually does, because if you talk about Kell Brook, everyone says that Kell Brook had massive, massive amounts of potential. But the thing is, the chapter and the book ain't closed with him, because he got to that level and he kind of didn't make it. Let's be honest. He got to those elite fights and he fell short. So I think he's found for himself. He has to prove to himself that what
the guy's an IBF champion. He had the belt around his waist and he couldn't pull in the big names. Why is that? That's why he wasn't making that big dough. He fought Carson Jones twice. What? Do you know what I mean? And he's on Matchroom. So something doesn't marry up for me at the minute. Something doesn't marry up. Like, everyone talks about that. I'm not even gonna say his name, but there's that one fight that hasn't happened. Now let's be honest. That fight, he had the belt around his waist. How come that fight wasn't happening then?
We know why it didn't happen.
Well, no, this is my point. It's not. That wasn't the only fight. I agree with you that it should have happened, but that was not the only fight. He can't get big. He can't seem to get big names into the ring. I don't know whether it's demands. I don't know whether it's hand cherry picking. I don't know. But now my point is, he hasn't had those big nights, those massive nights that are going to put millions and millions in your pocket. He's done well, obviously, out of his career, but he hasn't had enough of those. For someone who's an IBF champion for as long as he was, he hasn't had those. I don't believe. Those stellar names on his CV that they can say, yeah, that's where he made his P. I'm all about that. Make your P. When you're in that sport, is brutal. Make your money. This is the time to do that. Good performance that he just had. Now's the time to have. He's got 2 fights, I reckon, 2 big fights. I don't think he's, winning winning the world title. I've seen the champions in that division. Very likely, he can do it. You've seen the champions in there.
Well, you say that, but some people think that there's no way. Some people think there's no way that he can go out there and beat Jermall Charlo. Like some people are hyping Jermall Charlo up to new levels, and I don't see it. I personally think Charlo is a great fighter, but he's not. I don't see him as one of the very best and elite pound for pound. I don't see it. I think he talks a lot of smack, and I agree with you. I think that is a pretty simple route for Kell Brook to take. That everyone's talking about the Liam Smith fight now. Domestically, even domestically, people think, yeah, okay, let's get the fight. It's an interesting fight.
What's in it?
It's not. It's nothing in it.
There's nothing in it.
But I think there's only he needs to get through this fight, and then his title shot's there. That's what I think, and I think Jermall Charlo's the route he needs to take.
But there's another guy, Jason, whatever his name is, the guy that's won he's won other belts in that division.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's other ways you can win a belt. That Teixeira is a champion in that division. That division's there for the taking if you really want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the same thing again. Going back to my point, he hasn't had those money spinners. You know what I mean? Them big buck money fights. You know what I mean?
But then the Triple G's and the Errol Spencers must have brought him in.
Listen,
nice.
Listen, I'm not. Triple G is not Canelo.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the pay grades, the pay grades. That's not in your pay grade. You know what I mean? He ain't what the Canelo. Canelo sets you up. Yeah, regardless. He's the prize fighter. He's the prize. Yeah, you have that fight. The fight where Errol Spence. Yeah, I'm sure he got paid handsomely. But end of the day, he's the champion. So he's the A side. And that fight was in the UK, wasn't it? If I remember correctly, when he fought Errol Spence.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
I'm not even sure. But all I'm saying is, he hasn't had enough of. For someone who's an IBF champion for as long, he's had 2 fights, of which one he was against Triple G, which he was really never going to win. He wasn't going to win that.
But where are you going with this?
No, my point is, you can either go to try and get yourself a belt, and carry on having those same bracket of fights, or go and make some big money and go and have 2 or 3 fights or 2 fights at the top level where your Mikey Garcias or another welterweight. I'd rather he moved away from the welterweights because you don't want to kill himself, or Jermall Charlo, those fights, and real make your money. Go to Vegas and make big paydays. So they're the 2 routes he's going to go. Yeah, he can go be a world champion. It's available to him, and that's why he's saying it, because it's a very viable option to go and win a belt. But is that going to bring him those big Vegas paydays, or those big Wembley paydays that he might get if he fights these big names? That's what I'm saying. So it's your decision he's got to make. Where do you reckon? Where do you see it?
I think if he goes down the route of taking a belt, he can still go on, and he'll have that clout with the belt. I know that, but those fights can still happen with that belt. So I think both avenues he can make money. And I do think that stay at this weight and go through that route and get your belt. I think for yourself to be 2-time world champion as well, it is something that he wants to prove to himself.
It goes back to my point though. You're saying go down that route, go get a belt. Yeah. He was IBF champion for how long? What did it do for him? Really?
Yeah, but hopefully he's learned from that. Surely, you say that now with age. Surely he's learned from that. He's gonna do the same shit. And the thing is, right? What I did like, and what I'm seeing at the moment is that he's not mentioning that man's name, right? I don't want to mention that guy's name. And if Kell Brook's watching this, or someone at him or something, just don't mention his name. Go on your path and do what you got to do. You don't need that guy, and you never did in the first place, really, right? And nor did he really need you, unless you were both champions at the same time. Rare, then maybe, right? Just do your thing.
Let's put it like this: if he wins a belt, he's never given you the shot. Do you know what I mean? That's what you look at it. And when you had the belt, he didn't want the smoke. So it tells you everything that you need to know. Just leave that guy alone. But that's what I like. That's what I'm saying. This time around, that's what I like. Kell Brook, do your thing, and don't talk about matey, and just go on your path. And whatever it is, if you want to go and go at the belt or on the big monies, just do your thing. And I said, like I said, the fans just want to see you, and not keep talking about the same shit. And I think with the other thing as well is like pundits. You keep asking them the same dog shit question. Just fucking leave it alone. Even the fans are finished. The proper boxing fans know that fight is gone, it's finished, and they don't even want to see it anymore. That thing is gone. That ship has sailed. And I think even for the pundits and and Kell Brook as well, just leave it alone. Pundits, think of something new you need to ask him, because you're asking the same questions he don't even want to speak about. So that's what I would say. It's frustrating for me when I see that Sky Sports that's asking him the same shit question about him when it's gone. That ship has sailed, and all the fans know it. Do you know what I mean?
So let me go from the beginning of the video. Is that it's great to see him back. It was a solid performance, and to make the timing of that shot to knock somebody out with a essentially, which is a left jab,
Stiff left,
right?
yeah.
And he didn't have even that much backlift, whatever you want to call it, to go. It's just straight boom. Timing was nice. So.
And that's what you talk about. You people talk about rusty. He was rusty. That's the stuff that wins you fights and gets you decisions. You know the timing of your shots. So you can say he might be rusty to maybe open Matey up, but to lay him out in the 7th and time a shot that perfectly would suggest that timing ain't gone, and that rust. Yeah, he brushed it off in a couple of rounds. The ring rust. So he is ready. But like I said, from my perspective, for somebody who likes that party life, who likes to do mad shit, who's not really, you could see he always says it. Oh yeah, it's great to be back in gym. It's great, I feel great. I'm, the chocolate brownies, all that sort of stuff. He sells you that dream every single time. We know Kell Brook's a good, he will say the same thing. He's now saying in that last fight, I was nowhere near ready. I weren't ready. But at that time, you were saying it's the best shape you've ever been in. So that's what I'm saying. He's clearly not living he's living his best life outside of the ring. So that's what I'm saying. I reckon he's got a small window and he needs to make as much money as he can. And if he gets a belt along the way, then hoorah! But at the moment, maximise and make that peak.
And to finish off, in terms of the route he should take, like in that weight division, really, if you think about it, you got people like the likes of what was it, Andrade, probably maybe Hurd, Lara. These are the kind of names that come to my mind.
And you've got welterweights that want to step up, like your Danny Garcia, potentially. Well, obviously Michael Garcia's in there, but you could look at like Thurman potentially up and down in a catchweight or whatever. But they're the ones that are going to make you the money for me. I'm saying, listen, the belt, yeah, you if you get one and you don't get one, that's great. But this is a time to make some money, find the biggest names and fight them and beat them. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I think do the Liam Smith fight. I think it makes sense. It's an interesting fight.
I don't.
But I know what you mean. It doesn't get you excited, does it? Like,
I'll put that out to anybody. Liam Smith, Kell Brook, Michael Garcia, Kell Brook. Thoughts? Discuss. What are you going to watch? If you put Liam Smith and Kell Brook on a Sky Sports at 9 o'clock, yeah, at some, somewhere in Sheffield or whatever.
But the thing of the Mike Garcia fight, yeah, yes, it's the names is big, but if he wins that fight, what are people going to say straight away? Oh, Kell Brook's far too big for Mike Garcia. That was just inevitable. That's what I'm saying. It's just like you can't. For me, you can't win with that.
No, because of course he can. He beats Liam Smith. What's everyone going to say?
Well, Liam Smith,
nothing. But none of us say nothing.
It's true. No, I hear you. I'm not even
make the P. If you beat Mikey Garcia and people got stuff and people want to talk smack, they can talk smack. You got paid. You're getting paid, and that's what it's about now. You ask Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew got paid because he thought, you know what? Fuck the bullshit. I am in the twilight of my career and I need to make as many paydays as I can, big paydays, because I've done all that graft in the past. Give me some dough. And he made money. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Kell Brook is not here for no longevity.
That's what I'm saying. He said that himself. He knows that he's only got about 3 fights left.
So 3 big money spinning
fights. And he said that's what he wants. So, but the thing is, it looks like the way it's going is that Liam Smith is going to be his next opponent. But I agree with you. I think just go for the big names now. And I think he should go for that Jermall Charlo route, and I think he can beat him. Because like I said, I'm not having him. I don't know what people think about him. But yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts. Do you reckon you agree with Senior that he should really try and nail down this title route and go and win a title in that division, or do you think or would you agree with me and say, listen, it's all about the Benjamins?
Yeah, I think you do Benjamins as well, but I'm saying just get the belt. It's easy, like you said. It's easily doable, isn't it?
I don't care either way. I don't think it makes much of a difference. The other one I want to say is Warrington back to Matchroom. Something smells kind of funky. Frank Warren. To be fair, unless Frank Warren's thinking, I got Tyson Fury, I don't need the rest of these guys. This guy alone is making me all my money. I don't know.
Nah.
If you're telling me Billy Joe Saunders and Warrington are both at Matchroom, that tells you everything you need to know. Matchroom is on a mad one, and it's good. And to be fair, from Warrington's perspective, what a move that is. You got to be on Sky Sports. If you've got a massive fan base already, you've got to be on Sky Sports.
So it's good to be back. It's good to see boxing is back as well. We'll probably the next video will be Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder prediction. That will be a fun video. And
potentially, and obviously there'll be another one talking about Dubois and Jojo. Is really excited for this fight. I'm gonna knock him out. I'm really thrilled for this fight. As you can see, my emotions and that.
Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment.